Welcome to ProjectAlan! Today we will start to work on the engine that I will be swapping into my Mk2 Golf. But first, a little recap. So hey, I'm Alan, and this is my 1990 Mk2 Golf. I really wanted to drive this car as much as possible, but the carburetor was so bad. Every time you press on the clutch or the brakes, it would just die. And that was the point where I didn't want to drive the car anymore. I knew I had to do something about the carburetor. Then I found a B4 Passat with a 1.6 100 horsepower engine in it, and I had to have it. So I disassembled the Passat, kept what I wanted to keep, and disassembled the engine. It's a 1.6 engine code AEK, and what's most important for me that it has fuel injection. No more carburetors, thankfully. The whole premise of this project is to modernize my Golf a bit. Well, with fuel injection, and I have some other things that I really want to do to it, but I guess you will find out what I want to do on this channel. If you want to find out more about my previous adventures and how I got this car, check out my last video, but for now, let's kick off with part 1 of Project Madison. So the last time that I worked on this engine was almost 15 months ago, and I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted to replace pretty much everything on it, paint everything. I tried to zinc plate the bolts at home. I bought all kinds of chemicals and stuff, and it kinda worked, but it took so much time and I wasn't really pleased with the results. Just lost motivation of doing this at all. So now I just want to drive my car. As David Freiberger said, don't make it perfect, make it run, or something like that. So that's what we're gonna do. So I want to remove the oil pan to change the gasket and look if everything is alright in there. But I don't remember if I drained the oil, so let's find out. And it's completely loose, so it's probably empty. I forgot my gloves. Yeah, it is empty, so that's good. First up, I want to clean everything around the oil pan so I don't get any dirt in it. And also, I don't want to flip the engine over because I don't want any old oil or something going back into the engine, as it had a year and a half to drain to the bottom. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I need to take out a bunch of 10mm bolts. So I think that's all of them, and it should remove using a rubber mallet here. Well, I guess that's one way of doing it. There are some... Oh, I found some, I think those are gasket material or something, because they're not metal. Okay, had a bit more of a swim in there and found a piece of plastic. I don't think it's metal because it breaks super easily, but it seems like it had a, not a thread, but some kind of holder. Now I guess I'll have to find out what is broken in there, and I hope it's not that deep in. So welcome, you're on the floor with me, and the oil pickup looks very clean indeed. There's a little speck of something on it, but I will clean it off. I can't see anything broken on this baffle piece, so I'll try to remove it and see if there's anything under it that might be interesting. While I was taking this piece off, a tiny piece of plastic broke off of it, but I don't think it's doing anything much, so whatever. But when I look up into the engine, I don't see any plastic parts at all, but there you can see the orange hole in there, or there for that matter. That is where the evap box thing goes into, and I'm pretty sure that's what broke while I was removing it, and pieces of it fell into the oil pan. So I think I will not worry about those plastic pieces because, well, there's nothing else plastic in here. Clean this baffle piece a little bit and let's install it back. There we go. So the oil pan itself is kind of dirty on the inside and pretty crusty on the outside, so let's clean and paint it. Garbage. And there's more of these plastic pieces. Okay, I'm not sure what broke. Okay, I don't really like this that much, but I guess we'll figure it out later. So, the inside is nice and pretty much clean. Now, time for the outside. So, somehow I managed to lose the audio for some upcoming clips, and I feel like a true creator now. Basically what I'm talking about is that I'm still worried about the plastic that I found in the oil pan, and I'm gonna be removing the valve cover to see if everything's fine in here and if I can find any plastic pieces that are broken. So first I'll remove the inlet manifold. I put it back on just for show because I love how it looks. Then remove the valve cover. And under there, the plastic splash shield looks completely fine and there's nothing plastic in the head itself, so the mystery is still unsolved. Then I read online that it's pretty common for the dipstick plastic to break off and fall into the oil pan, but I found nothing wrong there. So, I was going through some boxes of parts from this engine and I couldn't find some of the hoses for the oil breathing system thing. So I looked on my phone because I made some photos and videos of disassembling this engine months ago. And in one video I found a broken piece of evap hose thingy that was plastic, and I threw it away and ordered new ones. So because I ordered new ones, probably because they were broken, and it looks broken in the video. So let's just say that that plastic was from that hose, and move along and pretend that didn't happen. So since I have the oil pan off, I want to clean it up more and paint it, get rid of the rust and stuff. So let's wire wheel it. I removed the loose rust, and because the wire wheel pretty much polishes the surface, I need to sand this with some, don't know, 100 grit sandpaper maybe, to give something for the paint to stick to. Got it sanded. Now I'm gonna clean it with some degreaser and apply a rust converter. While the rust converter is doing its thing, I want to replace the front main seal, the intermediate shaft seal, and the cam seal. I think I'm gonna start with the front main seal, because it seems more difficult, but I guess we'll find out. I already loosened these bolts months ago, so this should be pretty easy, hopefully. Two 10mm bolts and 13 maybe? Okay, turns out the stud is 16, not 13. And technically this should just pull off. And there we go. I'm gonna clean and degrease these surfaces. Next, let's clean the plate. And yes, a pink brush works much better than other colors. As you can hopefully see, I need to put in a seal till it's flush with the back of the plate, and I also need to clean the mounting surface. I'm gonna use some red Scotch-Brite to clean up the residue from the old gasket. Nice and shiny. First, let's remove the old seal. That's the old seal removed. Then I'll clean the hole with some Scotch-Brite. And this is the new seal. Let's compare its size. And it seems to be the same. So all we need to do is hit it home. I found a really old massive socket, and I guess let's try to hit it home. And the seal is installed, flush with the back edge. Hopefully this will be fine. Never done this before, honestly. back with the engine and I'm gonna clean the surface again. Because I don't want to come back and do the job again, I'm gonna use a tiny layer of RTV on the gasket. Then a new gasket. Also put a layer of RTV on the plate itself. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of oil where the seal will hug the crankshaft. And very carefully install the plate. And then the bolts that I cleaned up. Then snug the bolts up. And because I really hate messy looking gasket material, I will clean the edges as well. Found some bolts that will fit these holes, and I want to put the bolts in to squeeze the gasket and hold it while it dries so it hopefully seals better. This goes back on and we're done here. Just noticed that it says RWB here. It's so cute, my Golf wants to be a sick-ass Porsche. Next up, the intermediate shaft seal. These two are actually 13, got it right this time. Let's take note that this one needs to be flush with the face of the part. And there's also a O-ring here. Well, I just spun the intermediate shaft by accident, so I guess I'll have to find out how to set the timing on this engine. Well, fuck me. Back at the table again, and first I'll remove the O-ring. And then I need to remove the seal, but I can't hit it from the back because it's like a two-piece deal, so I think I'll just have to lever it out with a screwdriver. Okay, this will be much more difficult than I thought. So the easiest way to remove the seal that I found is to put a screwdriver into the gap between the housing and the seal and twist the screwdriver. And just make sure that I didn't put any scratches into the housing, and it seems that we're good. I just need to clean it. And now it's time to install the new seal. So not sure if I should oil it, but I kinda wanna try. I saw some people recommend putting RTV on the edges of it. Maybe I'll try to do that. I guess, what's the worst that could happen? So I just sent the seal home until I could see that it's completely seated around the perimeter. So next will be the new O-ring. It looks much thicker than the one that I took off, but at least let's give it a shot. Back at the engine and let's try to install it. Let's see if that thick ass O-ring will even fit. Careful with it over the shaft. Here we go. And yeah, that O-ring is way too big. No chance of it going in. Okay, guess I'll have to find another one. Okay, I thought about reusing the old one, but it's squished and old and I don't want to do that. So I'll just put this on for the time being and order the correct one. Next up is the cam seal. And people say to just loosen these two bolts and I should be able to take it out. So the top cap is loose, and then I'll try to lift this up and with the pick take the seal out. And there it is. Then I'll carefully try to clean the surface. I will oil the seal a little bit. And it should go back in quite easily. Well, or not that easily. So, after a lot of time and careful massaging with a plastic tool, I managed to get it in. I thought maybe it was a wrong one, but I checked the part numbers and the measurements that are written on the seal, and it is correct. So I guess we'll see how that goes. And I need to tighten the cap back on. These nuts should be tightened to 10 Newton meters, but I don't have a torque wrench. So I'll just go with snug. Let's put the valve cover back on. And the cam gear. Of course, don't forget the little half moon piece that locates the sprocket and locks it in. And of course the little piece fell out. And it's on. Put the bolt back in, and I'll torque the sprocket when I have the timing belt on. So, made a quick parts run, and I got the O-ring that I needed for the intermediate shaft, so let's swap it out and install the new one. Fits perfectly and it's not squished. Very nice. Oh yeah, this one seals much better. Glad I changed it. I'll just get these snug for now and torque everything down later. Then just gonna put this on so I don't lose these parts. And with that, all the seals in the front of the engine are replaced. I am editing this video and I noticed that it's getting pretty long, so I will park it here. It was so much fun to film it. I learned a lot and failed a bit and saw some concerning things. But thank you so much for watching, and see you in part 2 of Project Madison. Bye!